The Charge Blade is a Swiss Army knife of the series, being able to morph between a fast attacking sword and shield or a slower but much more powerful axe with the press of 2 buttons. It can knock out monsters, cut off tails, or even just do loads of damage in a single swing, all while shrugging off attacks with guard points. Keep those files charged for this one. We're going to need to make sure we can fully power up our shields for those ultra combos as we guard point our way through Monster Hunter 4 up to the newest Iceborne expansion as we find out how this newbie single-handedly stole the KO crown from the hammer. Starting off in Monster Hunter 4 in Japan and 4 Ultimate in the West, the Charge Blade is a different take on the morphing weapon type. Being in a similar vein as a switch axe, they are pretty similar. They both can change their form that changes the reach of their weapon for extra damage. They even share the file mechanic, although they work a little differently for the Charge Blade. Unlike the switch axe, the Charge Blade is required to attack while in sword mode in order to charge up its files. There are a couple things you can do once those files are charged up, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Unsheathing a weapon while moving or pressing X plus A will do a forward slash with the sword, perfect for closing the gap and starting the sword's combos. Pressing X will do a weak slash with the sword. Pressing it again will do a return slash. With a third X input, a strong spinning slash will be performed. If desired, the hunter can press X after the dash slash to get into the X inputs. Tapping the A button or holding A too long will do the weak side slash. Holding it in will do a powerful 2-hit slash that charges up the files a good amount. Afterwards, pressing X will do a spinning slash. This is the go-to combo for quickly charging up files for those powerful axe combos. When the file gauge changes to yellow or red, pressing R plus A will transfer the charge into files. Yellow gives 3 files while red or overcharged will get 5. Pressing X afterwards will do a return slash. Just note to switch the energy to files whenever the gauge says charged, as the weapon will bounce with every attack in sword mode. When in sword mode, pressing R will put up the shield. The hunter cannot move when shielding, so there is not an easy way to restore stamina, like with the lance or gun lance. Pressing R plus X will morph the sword into axe mode with a heavy axe slam. Once in axe mode, pressing R will do a morphing spin that goes into a spinning slash. This can be changed in a combo if desired. Just keep in mind that the morphing swings will move the hunter a fair bit. Pressing R plus X plus A will draw into axe mode. Moving and pressing X when in axe mode will do a heavy slam. This is great for damage and closing the gap for the rest of the axe's combos. Pressing X will do an upward swing when idle. Pressing X again will do an overhead swing. It's a slow but strong combo that can also launch teammates into the air. Pressing A will do a side swing with the axe. This can also be performed by pressing X after a roll or pressing A after a reload. Pressing A once more will swing the axe around, hitting twice. If there is file charged up, these attacks will do an extra bit of elemental or impact damage. You could move slightly forward when pressing A and moving. Another way of doing the swing around is by morphing the axe mode and pressing A, or doing the axe slam and pressing A. Pressing A a third time will do the super combo. While it is a strong attack on its own, the attack is much more powerful with some files recharged. Note that getting up to this point in the combos will use up 3 files, and will revert the Charge Blade back into sword mode. In order to only use 1 file, pressing X plus A while idle in axe mode would do the amp discharge. As an added bonus to using the file energy in these attacks, besides more damage, is Natural Mind's Eye. When hopping off a ledge, pressing X would do a downward chop with the sword or a slam with the axe. Pressing R would do a morphing swing instead. 4 Ultimate added some pretty handy additions for the Charge Blade. The first is being able to do a spinning slash after a hop and pressing X. Pressing X plus A off a ledge would do an aerial chop. After attacking, pressing X plus A would do a quick shield thrust. This attack has Mind's Eye and is a great way of chaining infinite combos. This standalone attack is pretty weak, but you can move slightly during the animation with the analog stick. During a reload, you can press X plus A for a shield thrust. With the shield thrust, pressing X plus A 3 times is a shortcut towards the super combo. A new addition for Ultimate. Pressing R before the super would do a roundhouse slash that would transfer any file energy into the shield. For every file that is transferred, 30 seconds of energy will be put into the shield. So with 5 files, the maximum is 150 seconds at once, with up to 300 seconds of energy being the max amount of total energy that can be put into the shield. You know when the charge is about to run out when the shield turns yellow. This is a signal that there is 30 seconds left. Pressing X plus A 3 times and then R is a handy shortcut for charging the shield. When charged, the shield is now just as strong as a lance or gun lance's shield. Plus blocking and doing the shield thrust will do added bonus damage depending on the file type. With the shield charged and files loaded, the amp discharge is now the super amp discharge. Instead of using a single file for the attack, all the files and shield energy will be used in a very powerful attack. Truthfully, this attack is better in multiplayer, as this requires a big window to perform this attack. Just be wary as the blast will send teammates flying. Plus, the regular amp discharge is a better option for most scenarios. With the shield charged, holding back an analog will do the super instead of the ultra combo. Impact files are generally the most popular choice when it comes to file type. They deal true damage no matter which monster part is hit. These types of files can also knock out monsters if the monster's head is hit with the amp discharges. In fact, they kinda do a lot of KO damage, 30 KO per amp X-Wing in fact, with the super doing 90 and ultra doing 100 KO per file. Shield thrusts and blocks or guard points will do 15 KO. On top of all that, KO status damage is increased by a hefty 30% with red shield. It is really no surprise how the hammer lost its KO crown when the charge blade was first introduced in 4 and 4 Ultimate. As the name entails, element files deal extra elemental damage when attacking with amped axe attacks. Unlike impact files, the part where the monster is hit with the element is very important. So doing true elemental damage on a part that is weak to that element is key for good damage. Using element file is much more catered to using the ultra combos more frequently, as the ultra would do 1350% of the weapon's element with each file. With red shield, the elemental damage is increased by a hefty 35%. Doing guard points is a more advanced side to the charge blade. After some attacks and in between morphs, the hunter is granted a chance to block an attack without an extra input. The 2 main guard points are performed during the morphs. The guard point is at the very start of the animation when the shield is held forward. The other guard point is at the end of the roundhouse slash. This could be performed during the axe and sword morph as well. With red shield, guard points are given a natural guard +1, making this block stronger than the lance gun as his shield. Plus when guard pointing, a small burst will come out of the red shield, working as a counter attack. After a guard point, pressing R will continue to a regular guard. Only the guard point will have the natural guard +1. R+A will do a reload. Pressing X will do a quick morph in the X mode. Pressing B will do a sidestep, but the most important move is pressing X+A, giving the charge blade a super quick counter attack with the super ultra combo after a guard point. When hopping off a ledge, pressing X will do a downward chop with the sword, or a slam with the axe. Pressing R will do a morphing swing instead. It is a Blade Master weapon even if you can knock out monsters with ease at the end of the day, so Sharpness +1 and Razor Sharp will be very good additions. Honed Blade is mainly exclusive to 4 Ultimate, but Sharpness +1 and Attack Bell is a very powerful combination and a very difficult to get skill. For easy damage up potential, Challenger or Attack Up can make good choices if you're going for raw power. For those using impact files, getting Artillery Novice will increase the file's damage by 30%, with each subsequent stage increasing it by 5%. Getting Feline Bombardier at the canteen for that extra 15% is also a very helpful food skill. Element Files gets a bonus from Element Attack Plus. Get this skill over at Element Attack Up if you're going for higher tiers of elemental damage. Load Up adds an extra file to make the super combos much easier to spam. This would also naturally make ultra combos a bit more powerful with the added file. Even with the inbuilt guard +1 or red shield's guard points, if the attack is too heavy, the hunter will not be able to perform the amp discharge shortcuts. Guard points only give guard plus, not up naturally, so if you want to guarantee you can guard point everything, go for guard up. Generations really downgraded the charge blade after it took the KO crown from the hammer. When trying to do a red shield shortcut, the shield will now turn yellow. In order to get red shield, the hunter will need to cancel the super combo when the axe is out by pressing R. However, red shield can now hold up to 400 seconds worth of energy. Charging the shield through the yellow shield combo will continue the time, and going from yellow to red transfers the time. Red shield also makes it so that sharpness will not go down when blocking. While guard point is indicated by easy flash after certain moves, the charge blade can no longer do the super or ultra combos after a guard point. Instead, the guard point will simply go through as a morph as a pseudo counter. Striker Star removes the shield thrust from combos but adds a guard point during the dash slash and unsheath attacks. Red shield gains a bonus 20% extra damage compared to the 15% bonus from other styles. Aero style loses the charge slash while on the ground. Vaulting off a target and pressing X will do a strong aero charge slash that becomes a main form of charging files. Upon landing, the hunter can continue the combos. While in X mode, a heavy slam can be performed by pressing X. X plus A while in X form would do an aerial super combo. With red shield, the super becomes an ultra, with no real way to cancel it. So the best way to play this combo is by not charging the shield at all. However, if you play Gen U, pressing A with red shield would do the super, and X plus A would do the ultra mid-air. Additive style cannot go into the yellow shield. When charging in sword mode, there's a guard point during most of the animation. With the additive guard, pressing A would do a quick charge slice that will most likely max out the Defile's charge. Pressing X will quickly transfer the Defile's charge into the shield. This is a super easy way to upkeep red mode. Plus with good timing, the additive guard can be changed to block a monster's combos. When in X mode, the Hunter will now get the additive evade instead. Pressing X after an additive evade will do an axe slam. Pressing A will go into elemental attack 2. Alchemy style is a very interesting take on a charge blade. When trying to do a shield thrust, the shield will get charged instead. However, this will only get a yellow shield, so this combo is best to upkeep red. The charge blade cannot switch into X mode when reloading, but pressing A will auto charge slash. When in X mode, pressing A will skip over the first part of the elemental discharge, and the third attack will always be the super, regardless if the hunter has a red shield. Battler mode takes away the charge slashes and the ability to charge a shield. The round slash loses the guard point, and the charge blade cannot switch forms as it usually did. Tapping Y and then X in sword mode would do the roundhouse slash. Pressing Y and A would do the charge slash. Pressing R would do a morph attack. When in X mode, pressing X would do an upward swing, and A would do the swinging slash, and finally, R would morph back into the sword. When in Valor mode, the charge blade gets a Valor step. The shield glows blue, which will only go away when Valor is over, so even ultra combos won't use up the shield's energy when Valor is active. With each Valor step in sword mode, a guard point would be performed. This is a great way to plow through attacks. Doing the elemental discharge 3 will have a different attack. These A combos can be infinitely chained. The hunter can also do the super or ultra combos by standing still and pressing X plus A. Using all the files that are currently loaded, the charge blade forms a laser beam that is swiped in front of the hunter. The amount of files will increase its range and damage, so this has good synergy with Limit Break. Just note that red shield will not increase its hunter art's damage. Limit Break allows the charge blade to carry more files. At level 1, it's 7 files, with level 3 allowing 10 files for 150 seconds. The animation itself has a guard point when the shield is held forward. When paired with the load up skill, more files will be reloaded, making this an easier way to fully stock up on energy for a much stronger ultra combo or energy blade. Loading up a special type of file, when transferring over the energy to files, they will now be green files. When transferring the energy into the shield, the charge blade will heal the user and anyone nearby by the amount of files that were used up. This hunter art is pretty much just a poor man's healing guard. Spinning the axe head around like a chainsaw, the sword's files get charged a considerable amount, with higher levels pretty much giving a free red shield at the end. Once the hunter art is over, pressing R will charge a shield, pressing X will go into the sword combos, and A will go straight into elemental axe combos. Monster Hunter World returned the ability to do a super or ultra combo after a guard point once more. Plus, the red shield shortcut is also back. On top of that, red shield is no longer used up in ultra combos. There are a couple new handy moves that were added. One of them is a sliding slash that is performed after attacking and pressing circle while moving. This move is great for evasion, as the hunter can move in the analog's direction. This is also great for moving across ground quickly, but keep in mind to stay still and press circle in order to do the charge slash. There's also a guard point at the end of this move. With red shield, it is now possible to charge a sword. When doing a reload animation, pressing and holding triangle will charge up the sword. And with a forward cleave, the sword will now do the file's effects as extra damage, plus adding in Mind's Eye for 45 seconds. The slam itself is decently powerful, and it's pretty handy to upkeep the sword's charge for extra damage. When sliding, pressing triangle will do an upward swing with the sword, giving an option for a downward slash or a morph attack. Pressing triangle and circle on a slope will go into the sliding animation. In danger, the hunter can hold up the shield with R2 on the way down. Running off a wall will do the same attacks as aerial attacks, so nothing special here. When latching onto a monster in sword mode and pressing triangle, the hunter would do a tenderizing slash with the axe. After a guard point, pressing L2 will do the slinger burst, and then pressing circle will bring out the axe and the second elemental discharge attack, A triangle would do the roundhouse slash. Now when doing the combo for a shield charge, pressing L2 instead of R2 would charge up the axe's head. Now functioning as a spinning blade, the axe attacks would deal extra damage as it pierces through the monster's hide. Element Files has this last longer than impact, making this great for taking advantage of a monster's weakness. When the Charge Blade was introduced at 4, and given its charged shield and for ultimate, the Charge Blade was pretty darn powerful. Powerful enough that it stole the crown of KO King from the Hammer and Hunting Horn. Yeah, that's right, a bladed weapon was able to knock out monsters as fast, if not faster, than weapons made for knocking out monsters. I personally started my Monster Hunter career 4 Ultimate with the Charge Blade, so as I grew better at the game, it felt like the Charge Blade was evolving along with me. Super and Ultra combos were foreign concepts to me until a friend told me to go watch Gaijin Hunter's tutorials. It wasn't until late high rank in which I had to learn how to guard point, because the gold Raffin kept making my health bar disappear. Guard points are the hardest thing to do with the Charge Blade, but besides that, it's a weapon that's pretty easy to pick up but hard to master. Having a weapon that could change forms from a shielded weapon to a long-reaching bruiser gives a different playstyle and options depending on the situation. Saying this, the Charge Blade may not be for people who don't like to upkeep charges and files. Many of the Axe's combos are very slow and the stronger attacks require preparation beforehand that newer players are going to have trouble with. This is a weapon that becomes more fun to use as you get better at using it. Well, until the next episode. It's the end of the Charge Blade video. Again, I had to redo the beginning part because I left a lot of stuff out of the stock 4 part and didn't exactly go over the changes that 4 Ultimate gave, which, you know, is kind of the reason of this series existing after all. I also had to redo some lines since, you know, apparently my voice is not that great. Wow, shocker. I know, right? Yeah, hopefully you guys are able to understand me a bit better. I'm not that great at talking, as I kind of have speech problems sometimes, you know, I grew up stuttering a lot. So, yeah, that's kind of why I slur a lot of words, and there's not much you can do about that. Well, till the next episode, thanks for watching.